What connection could there be between the atomic bombs of 1945 and the war in Ukraine? The story we were told is that the bombs were a necessary evil, that they prevented an invasion of Japan that would have been a bloodbath. But the documents tell a different story. Declassified papers, especially intelligence intercepts known as magic, paint a very different picture. By the summer of 1945, Japan was militarily finished. Its cities devastated by bombing, its navy at the bottom of the sea. Japan was desperately seeking peace. So why didn't they surrender? Because of one single issue: the US demand for unconditional surrender, with no guarantees for the emperor. So why didn't the US negotiate if it was ultimately willing to concede this point anyway, as it did after dropping the bombs? Why prolong a war that was already won? Peace was delayed to buy time for the atomic bomb to be ready. The real target was not Tokyo, it was Moscow. The goal was to send a message to Stalin, the famous atomic diplomacy, a demonstration of power to dominate post-war negotiations in Europe, to intimidate Stalin into submission. Stalin was not surprised at all. Thanks to Soviet spies inside the Manhattan Project, including physicist Klaus Fuchs, he already knew about the bomb. And he immediately ordered his scientists to go full speed ahead with their own nuclear program. Instead of preventing an arms race, nuclear intimidation ignited it. And while atomic diplomacy failed, the war in the Pacific was prolonged, and that delay gave Stalin the opening he needed. On August 9, 1945, the same day Nagasaki was destroyed, the Red Army launched a massive invasion of Manchuria, then occupied by Japan. For Japan's leaders, this was a greater psychological shock than the atomic bombs themselves. The Soviets disarmed the massive Japanese army stationed there, and instead of destroying those weapons, they handed them over to Mao Zedong's communist forces. Victory was handed to Mao on a silver platter, and without that victory, the China we know today would not exist. That China is the country that today sustains Russia. It is Russia's economic lifeline. It buys Russian gas and oil, supplies key war technologies like microchips and drones, and shields Moscow diplomatically at the UN. Without China, Russia's ability to wage war in Ukraine would be minimal. The conclusion is stark. Dropping the atomic bombs to assert dominance unintentionally created the strategic ally that, 80 years later, enables America's main adversary to challenge it.